CNN projects that Democratic socialist Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic candidate, will be elected the next mayor of New York, New York.
New York City, the birthplace of modern political movements and the epicenter of national influence, is now experiencing a transformative shift under its new mayor. Mamdani's election represents more than just a local victory. It signals a political and ideological experiment with nationwide implications. His campaign has resonated with voters due to promises of affordability, progressive policies, and social reforms, creating a mandate that challenges traditional governance and fiscal balance. The election also highlights a stark contrast between New York's progressive electorate and the city's wealthy residents, who contribute a disproportionate share of taxes but may feel threatened by new policy directions. The result is a city poised for dramatic change, with ripple effects potentially impacting migration, business investment, and political trends across the United States. The mayor's approach may redefine urban governance, social safety nets, and economic policy, creating both excitement and concern among different sectors of the population. A population in motion. Nearly 1 million New Yorkers are reportedly considering leaving the city in response to Mamdani's policies. High earners, often concentrated in the top 1%, provide a significant portion of the city's tax revenue, and any shift in their residency could affect fiscal stability. The mayor's promise to raise taxes on the wealthy, to fund social programs and rent stabilization has created a divide between those benefiting from affordability measures and those potentially penalized. The exodus is not just about economics, it reflects anxiety about the city's direction, safety, and governance. Families and business leaders are evaluating whether they can sustain their lifestyle, protect their assets, and maintain their sense of security. Yet, despite concerns about outmigration, new residents attracted by progressive policies, social support, and sanctuary city status may counterbalance departures. The demographic reshaping could create long-term cultural, political, and economic shifts, reshaping New York's identity. Historic milestones and mandates. Mamdani's election represents several historic firsts, including being the first Muslim mayor and the first Democratic socialist to win more than 1 million votes in decades. He is also the youngest mayor in over a century. These milestones signal a city ready for transformative policies addressing affordability, safety, and social equity. Rent stabilization has been central to the mayor's platform, targeting approximately 1 million apartments. By promising to cap rent increases, the mayor is addressing one of the city's most pressing issues, appealing to long-term renters concerned about rising housing costs. This approach has secured widespread voter support, yet it comes with economic trade-offs, particularly for landlords and high-income residents. The campaign's messaging emphasizes fairness, affordability, and social responsibility, reshaping public expectations about city governance. The mandate demonstrates that New Yorkers are prioritizing direct relief and social equity over traditional fiscal conservatism, highlighting a significant ideological shift in urban politics. Rent stabilization and urban economics. The rent stabilization plan is a cornerstone of the mayor's campaign, promising tenants that their rents will not increase. This policy directly targets the affordability crisis, giving long-term residents relief from rising housing costs. With over 1 million rent-stabilized units in New York City, the mayor effectively secured a strong voter base by appealing to renters who benefit most from this protection. However, the policy's economic implications are complex. While tenants gain financial security, landlords may experience reduced revenue, potentially affecting property investment and maintenance. Funding these measures requires increased taxation on the city's wealthiest residents, which could influence business investment decisions and the broader economic environment. The policy also raises questions about sustainability and equity, balancing tenant protection with the need to maintain a vibrant, economically diverse urban ecosystem. Overall, rent stabilization represents both a political victory and a long-term financial challenge for the city. Taxation and revenue strategies. The mayor plans to fund his policies by increasing taxes on high-income residents and aligning city tax rates with those of neighboring states like New Jersey. Taxing individuals earning more than $1 million annually by a modest percentage, and adjusting state taxes could generate approximately $9 billion. This revenue would fund rent stabilization, social programs, and other initiatives. However, critics argue that higher taxes may drive wealthy residents and business leaders to relocate, potentially reducing overall economic activity. Proponents believe that the funds are essential for addressing affordability and social inequality, ensuring that economic growth benefits the broader population. The strategy reflects a deliberate attempt to shift the city's fiscal model toward wealth redistribution while maintaining essential public services. It highlights the tension between progressive taxation and economic retention, posing a critical challenge for the new administration in balancing equity, sustainability, and growth. Public safety and crime concerns. Public safety remains a central concern amid the mayor's progressive policies. Critics worry that measures such as reducing incarceration, eliminating cash bail, and soft-on-crime approaches could exacerbate existing crime problems. Families and businesses prioritize neighborhoods where children can safely play, residents feel secure, and law enforcement has adequate support. If crime escalates, the city risks driving out middle-class and center-right residents, potentially leaving behind a population more aligned with the mayor's progressive agenda. The mayor has retained Commissioner Tisch to maintain stability, emphasizing accountability and efficiency in law enforcement. Additionally, a Department of Community Safety is planned to address mental health and homelessness, reflecting a broader approach to public welfare. Balancing crime reduction, law enforcement support, and progressive reforms will be essential to maintaining both public confidence and urban functionality. Sanctuary policies and migration dynamics. Mamdani's policies may increase New York City's appeal as a sanctuary city, attracting residents aligned with progressive values. Immigrants, social program beneficiaries, and those seeking liberal governance may migrate to the city, counterbalancing departures. Critics argue that this could strain infrastructure, affordable housing, and social services. Only a limited number of rent-stabilized apartments are available, and demand may outpace supply, leading to shelter expansion and urban planning challenges. The shift in demographics may influence political dynamics, strengthening progressive coalitions while reducing moderate or conservative representation. This migration pattern reflects a broader national trend where urban policy decisions directly influence population flows. The resulting transformation could affect local politics, economy, and cultural identity, shaping New York City's role as both a symbol and testing ground for progressive urban governance. Political implications for the nation. New York City's political trajectory may have broader implications for national politics. A democratic socialist mayor in such a prominent city creates a model for similar progressive campaigns elsewhere. Critics fear that sanctuary policies, soft-on-crime stances, and aggressive taxation may inspire comparable approaches in other urban centers. Additionally, voter migration patterns, residents leaving due to safety and economic concerns, could reshape electoral demographics, strengthening liberal representation in cities while altering political landscapes in red states like Florida and Texas. Nationally, these trends may influence midterm elections, party strategy, and federal policymaking. Urban experimentation in New York, serves as a case study for how progressive policies intersect with migration, public safety, taxation, and political representation, offering insights for both supporters and detractors of the emerging political model. Challenges of implementation and governance. Implementing ambitious reforms faces logistical, financial, and social challenges. Creating new departments, funding programs, and maintaining essential services like education, fire protection, and policing requires careful budgeting. The mayor must navigate limited resources while pursuing transformative social policies. Balancing competing priorities, public safety, affordable housing, social services, and economic vitality will test governance capabilities. Effective oversight, transparency, and community engagement are critical to sustaining public trust and policy effectiveness. Missteps or underfunding could exacerbate social inequalities or compromise service delivery. Urban governance in this context requires strategic planning, continuous evaluation, and flexible adaptation, ensuring that progressive initiatives produce tangible benefits without undermining the city's functionality or residents' quality of life. The future of urban America. New York City under Mamdani may serve as a blueprint for urban political experimentation in the United States. The city's policies on rent, taxation, public safety, and immigration will test the feasibility of progressive governance in high-cost, high-density environments. Migration patterns, fiscal impacts, and public response will provide lessons for other cities considering similar approaches. The potential benefits include enhanced social equity, increased affordable housing, and expanded support for vulnerable populations. Conversely, risks include outmigration of high-income residents, business disinvestment, and heightened crime concerns. The unfolding scenario underscores the importance of adaptable governance, balanced policy design, and proactive community engagement. Observers nationwide will be watching to see whether New York City's experiment strengthens progressive models or highlights the limitations of ambitious urban policy. The broader cultural and political narrative. Mamdani's administration represents a broader cultural and political shift in urban America. Progressive, socialist, and sanctuary-oriented policies reflect a redefinition of civic priorities and social norms. These changes challenge traditional power structures, fiscal assumptions, and the role of law enforcement. The election demonstrates how political messaging, voter mobilization, and targeted promises like rent stabilization can generate overwhelming support. At the same time, opposition concerns highlight the tension between idealism and practical governance, safety, and economic stability. How New York City navigates this period will influence perceptions of progressive policies nationwide. The interplay between political ideology, migration patterns, and urban administration provides insights into the evolving nature of city governance and the potential implications for national politics, economic strategies, and social cohesion in the coming decades.